You ready?
Welcome
Are
to
you
Strat
happy
Chat.
with me? Do you want to say it?
Well, why don't we say welcome to Strat Chat together and then you can talk.
We can't say it together like this.
Welcome to Strat Chat.
Come on, let's talk Strat. Let's talk Strat.
Hasn't really been talking a lot of Strat, like.
I'm so keen.
We're ready.
Some coarse language and mature things, they spoil us.
If Big Brother's walls could talk.
Before I was evicted, there was like something I didn't really get a chance to do properly in the house.
Look at that hair though.
That hair's good. I'm trying that colour, but mine's over grass.
I'm in Drew's.
Oh.
90s Backstreet Boys now.
Housemates both new and legendary to help celebrate.
Hey, Big Brother. Did you miss me?
He looks the same.
I know I did. These OGs have actually played this game.
Correct.
They have played the vote in who's most popular game, which is not this game anymore.
To take on the next generation of housemates.
I'm a massive Big Brother fan. I watched every
Yeah, keep that quiet.
episode. So to say that I'm a super fan is probably an understatement.
If you were playing the game and someone came up to you and said, I'm such a massive fan of Big Brother, I love that show so much, and I've watched every episode,
I'd say go home.
I would number one say, okay, which year do you love it?
Ooh.
Do you love it like the OGs, like I watched when I was at school? If they were true fans of Big Brother, if they were true strategic fans, they wouldn't be telling me they were massive fans. I mean, personally, I would go in the house and be like, I don't know what's going on, I just want to have a really rad time.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty colours, pretty colours.
Yeah.
Like I would say, I remember watching it when I was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I would say, oh yeah, like I watched the first couple of seasons. Like
Yeah.
I remember Sarah Marie, and I remember
Yeah.
Ben winning, and I do remember Reggie. Mind you, I've never seen Reggie in high def before. So this is quite bizarre because it's switching from pixels to
I know,
high def.
it's a whole different aspect ratio.
And she looks good,
that was-
by the way. She looks great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember Gemma and her lip gloss. I remember.
Yes.
I remember Trevor. Like I remember all these old people.
And
but
it-
then middle school, I'm like,
I do usually get what I want, and when I don't get
the
what I want,
siren.
I figure out a way to get what I want.
More strategic.
I'm a very
She better be more than just a
Lying
siren.
becomes scarily
Siren.
easy to me.
Switch off very easily.
Well, hello.
Ponchos or ruffled feathers. People are going to cry.
And stronger than ever.
Hi.
When push comes to shove, I'm going to win.
Here.
She's so beautiful.
She's gorgeous. She looks great.
Oh,
Look how colour coordinated they are too.
they're so ready.
Tim
Oh,
Fitz, her.
Kruger! It's going to be interesting to see how these OGs can adapt to playing the popularity game to the strategic game.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't think some of them will be able to do it.
No, and I look at some of them and I go, I remember back, I think it was season 1 where we had Johnny.
Yeah.
And he played the game and he said one thing to one person, he said something to the other person, and suddenly he was the villain of Australia, Johnny Rotten, it was what he was called. But now, that is playing the game.
Yeah.
And so you've got
And
these
people
people.
would love him.
People would love him, and people, like playing the game back then, it was like, keep your head down, be really likeable, non-confrontational, and you win the game. Whereas now, that'll get you voted out.
And you couldn't talk about nominations. And
Correct.
that's the other thing. Now they can actively talk strategy. Back then you couldn't even allude to a nomination vote you'd get written up by Big Brother. So it was just a pure popularity. Who does Australia find the most entertaining on screen? And that was how you win the money.
And it was actually least controversial because so often the interesting people
Yeah.
would go first because you'd had 3 people nominated. Anyone who was slightly controversial knocked out straight away. You ended up with quite a vanilla group of people.
It's the little Aussie backlight.
Gosh, look at that.
To a lot of people.
That quality of they couldn't get better quality than this.
I'm confused.
Or they're doing it on purpose. Like
Surely TVs weren't that bad back then.
I don't know.
remember them being that bad.
We put up with a lot.
But I see.
We didn't know better. We didn't know better. We didn't know what television could look like.
We have Farmer Dave and Estelle.
Isn't his beard and hair just
He
glorious?
looks beautiful, doesn't he? Look at that
He
hair.
looks like a horse. He looks like a horse.
Oh, it's in the mane.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant like Julie Roberts. No. No.
No, he looks like glorious.
He does. He's got a mane.
Yes, and horses have little beards.
P.S. I love Julie Roberts. I didn't mean that.
You did.
No.
And also back in the day, they had like Big Brother, like get your boobs out. I don't want to see boobs.
Yeah.
It's not the voyeur. Oh my gosh, these are people living in a fishbowl kind of thing. I don't want to see anyone's boobs. I don't want to see anyone's butt. I don't want to see. What I want to see is people being strategic.
Yeah.
I want to see a villain. I want to see people lying. I want to see people being awful to each other.
Well, that's the thing.
Because that's how I recharge after a hard day.
I just have this awful feeling that the newbies coming in are going to be like, what are these people?
Oh, you were on the show in 2001. Okay, I was born in 2004, so...
Exactly.
Break the set 5 minutes in. This stuff wasn't meant to last. It's a prop.
You will all be guaranteed safety from the first nominations and eviction.
Every season they do this.
So this is how they save the fan favourites
Yeah.
for week 1. Okay, cool. Tick.
Yep. Hiding, so everyone's going to come in the house and not know they're going to... Because before, I would vote to evict
Just say yes,
first, are sitting right there,
Correct.
because you can't beat them at the end.
There's no way.
Housemates, if you're caught, you could be up for eviction. Housemates, Big Brother thinks he can hear others arriving. You better run and hide.
Should we go to the bedroom?
Because she's also doing The Voice. She's hosting The Voice.
So you're doing The Voice as well?
She's busy little beaver.
I hope she doesn't get the contestants confused.
Oh, well, you got fingers in pies. It'd be really hard. Gretel wouldn't get it wrong.
Gretel would give them a lecture on stage.
So what happens if you meet Mr. Right?
Then I'll be a happy girl.
What?
Just...
Sonia.
Number one, you don't want to be a couple. You do not want everyone to know the person who's voting with you. Oh, bless!
That's so cute.
And number two, I just don't give a
I never thought we'd both be getting back in the closet.
That's
I
gonna go.
love that. Oh, I love that.
Play poker. Poker's a very strategic game, a very analytical game. My plan is to go in there, get rid of the people who sit on the fence. I'm not here to beat around the bush. I'm here to get to the business end and make sure I win.
Okay.
I love that that's just obviously behind the set.
I know.
Like it looks like they're hiding in the cardboard behind the actual Big Brother set.
When I came out, people were just like, whatever.
And isn't that beautiful?
Yes, that's how it should be. Yes, exactly. So
That's all I've ever wanted, is a country where someone comes out and it's just like, oh, cool. That's all I've wanted.
Yes. Look at us having this conversation in a closet.
Oh, good, more hot people.
Oh, she looks intense.
I was worried there wouldn't be another hottie, and then what would I do? Notice I've only been mean about the hot girls and not the hot.
He looks interesting. Looks like one of the Beatles.
And he knows it. That was very deliberate.
What's your own relationship status?
Single, ready to mingle.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God we've got another girl who's single.
I really want to see a love affair between multiple people. You don't know him. You don't know him.
No, they do know each other. They look like they know each other.
They all look like they know each other. I don't think I'd even greet you like that. If I went to a party and I saw you, no offense, I'd be like, okay.
What, okay. Who's that farm girl? Last season? Or the season before?
Oh, no, I don't remember now. But I loved her. I loved her.
and excuse me,
I'll definitely like that's something I find it's
you don't like that?
Ah!
in that situation.
He's a stop it, come on.
Some guy stopped me on the street and he was like, I simply must cut your hair and take a photo. And I was like, you simply must leave me alone. He was like, I'll give you $300. And I was like,
Whoop.
They know each other.
Big brother, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I wonder if they'll be undercover couple.
So, I know somebody that's in the house. It's Josh. He was like my first Tinder date, like 6 years ago.
How would the producers know? They're not going to be like, unless they saw each other at casting.
Yeah, potentially.
Otherwise, it's a complete fluke, which is insane.
So this is the twist. They have to escape while they all are distracted, but the distraction is Big Brother telling them to all go outside.
Look the other way!
Look over there!
Look over there!
Smells like children.
Do you think they're just saying, oh my god, because they think the house is going to burn down? Because they're not real fireworks, it's just flames coming out of the house.
Oh, that works.
You didn't have to punch it in.
It's real. I've got to say, Big Brother loves a smoke machine.
They have put budget into this room. This room is going to be around for the season, I think. I was going to say, why is the government in debt? Because it's the Big Brother room.
This is Big Brother.
Stay tuned for part 2 right here on this channel.